Welcome to the BayRef Refrigerant Support Hub, which has been introduced to help customers navigate the ongoing changes in refrigerants, so you can make the best choices on behalf of your customers. We're creating a series of short videos that aim to cover the topics relevant to all things refrigerant, which you'll be able to find on our YouTube channel and also kind of LinkedIn and other social platforms. So for this Q&A, we're discussing refrigerants in more detail with Simon Ravenscroft from National Refrigerants. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you, Alec.
And thank you for your time. Hopefully you can impart some wisdom on us collectively with what's going on in the refrigerants kind of market at the moment. Welcome back, and we're here with Simon from National once again, and this video we're going to talk about the availability of refrigerants.
Sure.
And yeah, I think the first question is really what refrigerants are most affected by the reduction in quota?
So the refrigerants most affected are the higher quota consuming ones.
Okay.
So originally the high GWP refrigerants were things like 404, 507, with GWPs topping 4,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the really bad ones, and pretty much they've all gone now.
Yeah.
So the medium GWP refrigerants now become the high GWP refrigerants.
Okay.
So things like 410A, 407C, and to a lesser extent, even 134A, 448, 449.
Okay.
So although they're a bit lower, they're still edging towards the higher GWP category.
Got you. And what should our customers be moving away from in terms of those higher GWP refrigerants?
Well, practically they should be moving away from all of the higher GWP traditional refrigerants, all the HFCs. For a refrigerant to be long-term sustainable, ideally its GWP needs to be under 150.
Okay.
So that discounts 448, 449, 134A, 452, 407C, 407F. It discounts all those traditional refrigerants.
And those a couple of years ago would have been probably seen as medium-term solutions, but actually now they're short-term solutions. Effectively, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
and if we've not already transitioned end users onto those refrigerants, by golly, we've got to be doing it quickly, and that's only going to have a short shelf life.
Absolutely. This next big quota cut next year is the trigger for everybody they simply have to start moving into that lower GWP bracket.
And what refrigerants then should we be advising end users to use?
Well, obviously, clearly that's pertinent to its application.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So at the moment, there are a group of lower GWP refrigerants that are long-term sustainable. So for example, 454A, 454B, 454C, 455A, 1234ZE, 1234YF, all these crazy numbers.
Yeah.
But they are all, even CO2, they're all in the bracket of low GWP long-term sustainable refrigerants.
Excellent. And actually, whilst it sounds a lot with all the letters and numbers, I think the market is moving towards kind of a finite number of long-term solutions, isn't there? Whereas this interim period has got lots of different blends and lots of different kind of possible scenarios.
Exactly, Alex. It's actually, things go very circular. Back in the day, we dealt with 4 or 5 different core refrigerants.
Yeah.
So 134A, 407C, 410, and there were literally 4 or 5 refrigerants. As we started to transition away from these harmful refrigerants, there became a plethora of replacements. Mm-hmm. So each manufacturer is out there to develop a replacement for one of those products. But when you've got 5 manufacturers, you end up with 5 replacements for one product.
Yeah.
And then that goes on. So I think at its peak, there were close to 50 different refrigerants.
Wow.
But because of the complexity of getting these long-term sustainable refrigerants, there is now literally, it's going back to 4 or 5 of them again. So,
which helps in the long term for contractors, because there's not the variety of different products that they might have to carry and use. And
unfortunately for those guys, that market will be led by the OEMs that develop the new equipment using the newer refrigerants.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. And so for obviously we've talked a lot on higher GWP refrigerants and their availability. Pertinent question. It's the biggest refrigerant that we consume in the UK, but are we going to run out of refrigerants like 410A?
Eventually, but for now, no. Obviously, it's the one that's going to be under the biggest consideration with these quota cuts.
Yeah.
But today, by volume, it is still the highest by volume selling refrigerant that we've got today. So there is still more of that available technically than any of the others.
Yeah.
We've just got to be very sensible how we bring this into the market.
Yeah, okay. And having those kind of mechanisms in order to control the supply, but make sure there's enough, to cover the demand of the customers of ours, and working closely with you guys to ensure that happens.
We're technically classed as a completely independent refrigerant supplier. So by independent, we actually work very closely with all of the leading manufacturers.
Yeah.
And we have good contracts and good relationships in places with these guys. And to be fair, the deals that are done are usually done the year before. So we've got deals set in place, we've got access to the product. And as long as we're all sensible about it, we'll just be able to keep supplying the market as is required.
Yeah, good. So no need to kind of stockpile, panic buy,
No.
alongside loo rolls and other bits and bats.
Stockpiling and panic buying only creates a problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually solve the problem, it just creates its problem.
Yeah.
So if everybody stays, sensible and buys the product as they need it, things will be fine.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you, Simon.